STIM-FREE does deliver an effectiveness. You get the pump, you get the increase in performance. If you really need a boost in energy, simply add a caffeine and you're good. Well, I'm back. Today we are looking at another product from Stimulants. This is the product called STIM-FREE, a STIM-FREE pre-workout supplement. Not a pump product, which many people may confuse it with. This is a STIM-FREE pre-workout. So think of it as a pre-workout, many of the ones that you've seen on the market without the caffeine. And there you go, you have a STIM-FREE pre-workout. Not one of these loaded pump formulas. Yes, this can actually help with more than that. With that said, let's get into taste, mixability, profile, effectiveness, value, and let you know how it went. Let's go. Starting off with the profile, you get 6 grams of citrulline malate at a 2-to-1 ratio. Citrulline malate is pretty much the most common ingredient in pre-workouts next to caffeine, maybe beta-alanine. To keep it simple, citrulline converts to arginine, which is a precursor to nitric oxide, more effective than taking straight arginine. At 6 grams, you're getting a solid dose. Awesome job there, nothing too crazy. Next up, we have BCAAs at 4 grams. BCAAs are the building blocks of protein, leucine, isoleucine, valine, and you get the 2-to-1 ratio, which is what we typically like to see. BCAAs may only be beneficial if you're not getting enough protein throughout the day. Personally, we don't see a reason for it in your pre-workout. With that said, it may help for recovery in here. For the most part, we just see it as taking up space. We'd like to see that change with something else. Still, may help with some recovery in the long run. Moving on, we have beta-alanine at 4 grams. Beta-alanine can help with endurance. Very common ingredient, a lot of studies behind it. Typically, we want to see it at 3.2 grams. You get 4 in here. That's fine. It is a saturation ingredient, so you want to take it on your off days as well. Next up, we have betaine anhydrous at 2.5 grams. Betaine, this can help with power output. At 2.5 grams, you're getting the clinical dose. That's great. Next up, we have taurine at 1.3 grams. Taurine can help with blood flow, hydration. A lot of people use it to help prevent with cramping. 1.3 grams, that is a solid dose. Next up, we have one of my favorite ingredients, tyrosine. This is common in nootropics. It can help with focus under stressful situations. It's a precursor to dopamine in your brain. Great ingredient, and at 1 gram, you're getting a solid dose. Good job there. Next up, we have choline bitartrate at 500 milligrams. This is not our favorite form of choline. We'd much prefer alpha-GPC or cytocholine. It's just not as bioavailable as the other two that we just mentioned. 500 milligrams, also not the worst dose we've seen, still on the lower side compared to, you typically see 1 gram to 2 grams in some formulas. Not awful, still we'd like to see it either higher or a different form of choline in general. Next up, we have Elevate TP. This is ancient peat and apple extract. This can help with ATP production in the body. ATP is the energy currency of the cell, adenosine triphosphate. This can help with overall performance. Next up, we have bioperin, 5 milligrams. This is black pepper extract, source of piperine. This may help with absorption of certain ingredients. And finally, we have huperzine A at 50 micrograms. Huperzine prevents choline from being broken down in the brain, and this can help with focus. So overall, this is a very straightforward, solid profile. Nothing we haven't seen before, but altogether it looks really good on paper. Besides the minor complaint of the choline bitartrate and maybe the BCAAs being unnecessary, it's a solid, it looks like a solid STIM-FREE pre-workout. Seriously, if you just added a caffeine pill, you'd have yourself a very straightforward, well-formulated pre-workout. With that said, that's what the label says. Did it work? Let's find out. So we have to look at this from a non-caffeine perspective. There's not really going to be a lot of energy involved with this, although you could technically still get some from maybe the choline and the huperzine, as well as the tyrosine. Simply a nootropic effect and increase in focus may feel like you have more energy. So there was a slight, somewhat kind of boost in energy without that, caffeine rise. And with that said, there was also a noticeable pump. Nothing mind-blowing, nothing like you're going to have with some of these other loaded pump formulas on the market, but the 6 grams of citrulline certainly do their part. And overall performance was up. So overall, yes, STIM-FREE does deliver an effectiveness. You get the pump, you get the increase in performance. If you really need a boost in energy, simply add a caffeine pill and you're good. So overall, it is effective. You can kind of look at it and be like, oh yeah, this is going to work. It's going to deliver in every category besides somewhat the energy department, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we get to flavor. We had the strawberry lemonade flavor, and our user, he did say he enjoyed it. If you added some ice to it, it would have been a nice, refreshing drink. It is flavored with stevia, so it's not going to be overly sweet. It's going to have that natural stevia bite to it. He said it was enjoyable, just nothing that's going to blow you away. Just something nice to sip on. Not something you're going to completely look forward to, but it does get a good grade from us regardless. And now we get to mixability. One scoop in here is 23.4 grams, which is pretty high. We have to remember, you're getting a nice dose of everything in here. We mix it with anywhere from 8 to 10 ounces of water, and we were surprised there was no clumping. No excessive foam to be found, even with the BCAAs. Those are notorious for foaming up. Still, it mixed very well. Not the best. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on there, but no clumps to really complain about. No excessive foaming once again. So yeah, overall, not bad. Let's move on to value. Okay, just like bulk, you can get a tub of this, which gives you 30 servings for $49. Coupon code informant will save you a little bit on there. So you're looking at about $1.50 per serving. This is a fair price for what you're getting. If you really need some stimulants in there, simply buy caffeine pills, which are dirt cheap, and you have yourself a very well-formulated, straightforward pre-workout that hits all aspects: performance, energy, pumps, and focus. And yeah, at that price, this makes it look like more of a staple pre-workout, one that you're going to use over and over again at that price if you really want to save money over the long run. It'll deliver in everything. It's not the most exciting product we've had, but for the money, it's well worth having on your shelf. So overall, yeah, STIM-free, it's kind of what you expected. It delivers no caffeine, no huge energy rush, but it still delivers for performance, pumps, focus, everything you want. And if you really need energy, once again, add a caffeine pill if you really need it. Taste is all right, mixability is there, effectiveness certainly there, and the value makes it well worth trying out at least once. And with all that said, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on IG and Facebook, check out the website for more detailed in-depth review on this product, and as always, be informed.